I didn't know how this was going to play out, and I absolutely loved it. Hello, welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host, Khaleel Ward. On this episode, I'll be talking about Baki Hanma Season 2, Part 2. It's basically Baki versus his dad. It's episodes 14 through 27. That is Part 2. It's a lot of episodes. We learn a little bit more about Baki's mom. We get some flashbacks because Baki's mom was killed by his father, and he doesn't know why. And when he was born, he was just told to get stronger, and that's what he did. So he wants to understand why his mother was killed. In typical Baki fashion, we don't spend all the time with him. We spend a lot of time with Retsu. In part 1, he lost his leg fighting Pickle, and now he gets into boxing, which was pretty interesting. It's not as interesting as the Baki stuff, but it was cool to spend time with another character as he masters something else. It's not super easy for him. Yes, he beats up some people immediately because he's a great fighter, but he comes across some really strong people in boxing. He learns a lot about himself. He learns a lot about boxing. He goes to America, and it's like his own side thing. Baki, on the other hand, is still training to fight his dad. And I thought, since I've seen Baki in all these different shows, I thought it was going to be like this hatred of, I'm going to beat my dad. I need to beat him because he's the world's strongest person. And it was the opposite. It was just very different. I was shocked how different it was. It's family bonding. It's a father and son bonding. Baki wants to get closer to his dad to understand his father, and he gets that chance. And all of these episodes are we get 6 or 7 episodes with them just doing stuff. Baki invites him to his house. They have dinner. They have coffee together. And it's Baki is wow, I've never experienced this before. He even asks his dad to do dishes. He doesn't do the dishes, but he built up the courage to ask him. And he's always talking to himself when he's around his dad. Should I say this? How should I say this? Because he's the strongest guy in the world, and he can do a lot of stuff. And it gets to a point where Baki wants his dad to invite him to dinner, and he does. And it's like a classy place, and Baki comes, dressed regular, and Yujiro comes, with a dinner jacket, and he's explaining stuff to him. And it's these moments that Baki never experienced growing up. Nobody ever taught him etiquette or where to put his spoon or his fork and stuff like that. And Yujiro is breaking things down for him, and it's so cool to see. Baki was training, but when he's around his dad, he's very chill. He'll even say things to press his dad's button, and his dad will be disarmed at times. But then it comes to the point where they get down to it and they fight each other. And it's so cool because it's not I want to kill you to be the strongest type fight. It's just we've never spent any time together, and this is how we get to spend time together. It's not, oh, we're outside playing catch. No, I'm going to punch you in the face with one of my best techniques, and you're going to counter with one of your best techniques. And they are going all out, and it's an audience that comes and watches them in the street fight, and the people that's watching are so entertained because Yujiro is super strong, and he doesn't really get to cut loose, and he gets to do that with his son. So it's this bonding moment, and I was shocked, this is so dope, and it's emotional watching them do certain things. At one point, Baki gets on his shoulder, and he's wow, I'm on my dad's shoulder. Fathers pick their kids up on their shoulder. He's I'm on my dad's shoulder. I don't think I've ever been this close. And it's wow, this is very different. And it's just cool to see them bond, although it's with throwing fists at each other. And I enjoyed it. I loved it, actually. This was probably my favorite season of any Baki stuff, because we spent a lot of time with these two characters as they at one point say, I'm using techniques I can't use against anyone else, and he's using techniques he can't use against anyone else. And they're just having that moment of bonding and testing their skills against each other. And it's a lot of fun. If you watch Baki at any point or you enjoy anime, this is definitely something you should check out because it's just a good watch with cool techniques, but also that family bonding that happens that I didn't expect. But those are just my thoughts on Baki Hanma Season 2, Part 2. If you've seen it, let me know what you thought about it. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. Deuces.